Throughout all of comics, Wolverine is the guy when it comes to having a healing factor. He's quite literally known for healing from any injury. He's been shot in the head, taken the full force of a nuke, and survived getting his heart broken 1,000,000 times. So you would think it's impossible for him to die, right? Well, no. It's totally possible for him to die, but it just so happens that any time he does, it's in the most gruesome way possible. We open the story with an exhausted and blood-soaked Wolverine, who stumbles into the woods after going berserk on a group of mercenaries. We then cut to a flashback where Logan is talking to Reed Richards, who tells him that he's completely lost his healing factor. And the problem is that everything he does is built around the fact that he can rapidly heal from any injury. And in addition to that, his bones are mildly radioactive from his exposure to the nuke he tanked decades ago. Reed also goes on to say that every time Logan pops his claws, bacteria floods into his body, making his condition even worse. Reed says that he can enlist the help of Tony Stark and Hank McCoy, but Logan cuts him off and says that he's already gone to those guys and they couldn't help him at all. That's why he went to Reed as a last resort. Wolverine realizes that in the current state he's in, he'll be an easy target for bounty hunters. And Reed says, yeah, you're right, everyone hates you, so they'll definitely come looking for you. But whatever you do, don't use your claws. We cut back to present day, where we can see that Logan hasn't listened to a word of Reed's advice, as he's cleaning up his bloody hands after using his claws to kill those mercenaries from before. He sits down in the bar and calls a friend on the phone, who tells him that there's people stealing vibranium, and he could be in trouble next. But Logan's way too nonchalant to care about that and hangs up the phone, saying he just wanted to hear a friendly voice. Before he leaves the bar, he tells the bartender some people might come looking for him, and they won't be friends. So he gets out of there, and sometime later, we see someone else walk into the bar asking for 4 beers.
There's only 1 beer left.
And you know, considering this guy's tailing the Wolverine, he must be some menacing evil villain.
What is that?
Anyway, so this patriotic looking guy is named Nuke, and he asks the bartender where Logan is, to which the bartender replies, he didn't say anything, he just left this. And we see Logan wants all the smoke with these guys, telling them exactly where he's gonna be. So we see Nuke and his boys pulling up to the island where Logan is waiting for them. But as they're looking for the Wolverine, the boat starts rocking back and forth, and they realize that he's already here. So they decide they're not going to stay there waiting to get capsized, and they dive into the ocean. Which might have been the stupidest idea ever, cause as they're trying to swim ashore, Logan starts moving like that shark in Jaws, as he picks off Nuke's boys one by one, dragging them under. Nuke washes ashore, and Logan struts out of the water right behind him like he's in Baywatch, asking Nuke if he's got a contract to kill him. But the two cut the chit-chat and go at it immediately, engaging in an absolutely brutal slugfest, with Logan headbutting Nuke, causing his skin to peel away and revealing a robotic skeleton underneath. Now with the upper hand, Logan demands to know who sent out the contract, and he tells Wolverine it came out of Madripoor from the Green Queen herself, the Viper. So we cut to Madripoor, where Logan is having a meeting with an arms dealer named Coro in order to see the Viper. Logan offers him a fully functional Mark 9 Iron Man helmet, to which Coro gladly accepts. So the two walk into Viper's throne room, but as soon as Viper lays eyes on Logan, she tells Coro he's an idiot for not realizing he was talking to the Wolverine, and screams at her henchman to take him down. But as he's getting rushed, Logan just stands there all nonchalant and starts piecing these guys up like he's Neo, not even bothering to pop the claws to deal with them. With all the guards now laying at Logan's feet, the two can finally talk. We find out that the Viper isn't even the one behind the bounty. Someone just used her to subcontract Nuke and the other bounty hunters to hunt down Logan. So naturally Logan asks who the real client is, but Viper isn't giving up that information so easily, and tells him she'll reveal the client, but he has to earn it, as she reveals a leashed up Sabertooth. And after exchanging a little words, the two go at it, with Sabertooth gouging out Logan's eye. Logan tries to retaliate by prepping the Iron Man helmet to explode in Sabertooth's face, but it has no effect, as Sabertooth knocks Wolverine on the floor and starts going for that ground and pound like he's John Jones. That's when Lady Deathstrike comes out of nowhere, slamming Sabertooth down. But just as she's about to deal the killing blow, Wolverine stops her and tells her to let him walk free. But during that scuffle, Viper was able to run away. So the two begin to talk, and it turns out the same people that want Logan want Lady Deathstrike as well. And that's why she's in Madripoor too. But Deathstrike asks Logan why his eye isn't healing like it normally does. and she realizes that he's defective, so she gets ready to attack him, hoping she can use him to bargain for her life. But that's when Kitty Pryde comes in thinking she's a Kainu and putting her hand straight through Deathstrike's chest. But Lady Deathstrike calls her bluff immediately and backflips out of there, telling Kitty she's not a killer. But Kitty isn't having any of that as she phases through Deathstrike's hand and absolutely pops it, telling her, "You don't know who I am, now get out of here." But after all that, Logan's half dead from the injuries he's taken and collapses to the floor. But thankfully, Kitty comes in clutch with a suspiciously convenient regen serum which heals all of his wounds, including giving him his eye back. Anyway, to fast forward after all this, Logan basically is able to get the information on the original client, the guy who wants to capture him in the first place, as we see him infiltrating what seems to be a military base. But when he enters, he begins having PTSD flashbacks of the adamantium experiment he went through. But when his vision clears, he realizes he's looking at someone else going through the exact same experiment. And now we finally know who the client is, Dr. Abraham Cornelius. This guy was basically one of the scientists involved in the Weapon X experiment, and he's now trying to create a whole army of soldiers with adamantium infused skeletons. But the experiments keep failing, and the missing ingredient he needs is Wolverine's healing factor to keep the soldiers alive during the adamantium bonding process. But that's when Logan says, "Sorry, bub," as he cuts his hand, revealing he has completely lost his healing factor. So Cornelius is like, "Damn, alright then, kill him," as this weird robot looking guy pops up out of nowhere and absolutely socks Logan in the mouth. So Logan starts getting completely dog walked by this guy, while Cornelius begins the experiment on the soldier anyway, cutting through his hands and feet. But just when you think Logan's out for the count, he weaves a punch from the robot dude, causing him to shatter the protective glass in front of Cornelius, using that opportunity to knock out the robot as he demands Cornelius to turn off the machines. But the doctor's like, "Nah," and begins the adamantium bonding process anyway as he scurries out the door. That's when Logan finally pops his claws again in excruciating fashion, and in one of the most brain dead, silly, stupid, dumb moves ever, Logan cuts the tube holding the adamantium so it pours all over him and covers him head to toe. So now he's moving like Mr. Incredible when he got smothered by those big black balls, as he stumbles out the room trying to chase the doctor. And we cut to the rooftop where Cornelius is trying to make his escape, but we see he's been impaled by a glass shard as he collapses to the floor. That's when Logan reaches the roof looking like a melted Silver Surfer, and the helicopter pilot's looking absolutely terrified at the sight of Logan, running off and not giving a damn about the doctor. So Logan walks up to Cornelius and finally kills the man that helped create the Wolverine. As his life flashes before his eyes, Logan falls to his knees, looking off into the sunset as the adamantium sets, leaving him dead and fully encased in the metal.